In a classroom setting, when a student becomes non-compliant, I want you to consider these 6 options of what to do in that situation. Non-verbal gesture. So you may use proximity control, you may use eye contact, any way of non-verbally letting the student know that you're aware of their behavior and they are not meeting your expectation. Whole group call out. This may come in the form of a reminder, something like, I should see all pencils in hand and everyone taking notes at this time. Even though you are aware that there is a student that may be off task, what this does is it continues the momentum of the lesson and provides the reminder without having to call out any individual, like one person. Next is the anonymous correction. What this does is makes the group aware that there is someone who is not meeting the expectation. It makes it explicitly clear. However, we're not to the point where we're calling them out individually. It may sound like, I need all eyes up front and I'm missing one. Next is a private correction. So with this, you would move closer to the student and in a discreet, low tone voice, you want to let the student know what it is you need them to do. And with this private correction, as you make the correction, you do that very quickly. Again, you do it discreetly and you keep teaching. That's the key. Next is a public correction. You identify the student who's not meeting the expectation. You tell them what you want them to do. You do it quick and you keep moving. A quick note about the public correction. You want to make sure that you use that formal register when you're talking to the student, and you also do not want to use that as a time to lecture or provide a long explanation of what they did wrong. You want to quickly, again, tell the student what you need them to do. Public corrections, if you do not have the correct relationship with the student and the public correction is long and turns into yelling or tirade, can go extremely left. And those are situations that can be prevented as long as you follow some of these steps and make sure you do it in a wise way with lots of emotional constancy. So you have to keep that in mind when you're getting ready to publicly correct a student for not meeting your expectation. Next is a consequence. So that is one way to deal with a non-compliant student. You want to make sure that you have that consequence prepared and that you are going to follow through with whatever the promise is that you're going to make in regards to a consequence for a student. You don't want to become overly reliant on external consequences. You want to make sure that you use a balance of ways to address non-compliant behavior. You don't want to never become over-reliant on just publicly correcting students all the time or overly using your consequences in the classroom. You want to make sure that you are armed with as many ways to address this as possible so that when these things happen in classrooms, and they will, you have many teacher moves to pull from.